My name is Miguel Turato. I am currently a lead project manager for our Davis campus. I manage an architectural team and an interior design team, and we essentially coordinate from concept to completion all renovations that happen in Brampton. Any alteration to a space, and that can be anything from as simple as changing out a piece of furniture or reconfiguring or reconstructing an entire space to suit a new function. We sit down, ascertain the functional requirements from our user groups, essentially establish a plan or a proposal, go through that development process, get a formal sign-off to proceed, and coordinate all the trades that actually will bring that concept to to fruition. I think, like a lot of people, I too kind of came to a point in my life where I had like a bit of a lack of motivation, a lack of direction, you know. I pride myself on kind of being a self-starter. There was a point in my life where I just didn't know how to be independent enough to do it on my own, which meant, you know, looking to people in my life who I thought were strong, good examples of, you know, how to be strong, how to be, you know, responsible and accountable for their actions. The Indigenous Center for Learning Support was pivotal for me. It wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I really kind of became interested in getting to know that side of myself, and they were extremely proficient in, you know, the history of Indigenous people and legislation and all kinds of, you know, external factors that all cumulatively, you know, kind of create a very dynamic environment, and that isn't always easy to navigate. And so that guidance was really important to helping me just explore the right avenues or the right channels and get to that information a little bit quicker without needing to struggle so hard. The other thing actually, which is always, I guess, humbling, is the students. You know, the students who know firsthand from living on reservations, you know what I mean, what that lifestyle is like, and are able to kind of share their own stories. It is, again, you know, about that balance. So there are things that, you know, they don't have access to that I was fortunate enough to have access to, and you know, on the flip side, there's things that and information that they have access to through experience that I didn't have. And so sitting down with them and, you know, helping them learn and them helping me learn was also, I think, a crucial part of, you know, the start to that journey. I would say, you know, it's really important to take care of yourself. For me, you know, kind of making sure that I was healthy mentally and physically puts me in a position to do well, you know what I mean? It puts me in a position to give and receive help. Outside of that, I think it's, you know, find somebody in your life who you admire, you know, find somebody who's a good example of the things you want to be, you know, surround yourself with people who are good examples of where you want to be, you know what I mean? And that exposure, I think, transcends and becomes part of who you are. You almost leech certain things off people, and that sounds, you know, slightly negative, but it's a really positive thing to celebrate, you know, the good qualities in people and actually adopt them and, you know, use them in your own life to progress. And then I think too, it does kind of come back to, again, that sense of, you know, asking hard questions, you know. It's really easy to tell yourself, you know, lies and try and sweep things under the rug and just move beyond things. But I think, you know, it is the challenges that help us grow the most. It is experiencing hardship and, you know, struggle that teaches us, you know, what not to do and what works for us, and how to approach, you know, finding that balance in our lives. And I think that's probably, you know, one of the biggest things that helped me was just coming to that realization that, you know, it was going to be harder than I expected, and I wasn't necessarily going to be prepared for it all. But with the right resources and the right support systems, that I would have all I needed in order to kind of push through to the next step and, you know, continue to level up, if you will. I think as a community, it's really important to engage with a certain level of respect for, you know what I mean, the culture that exists and has existed for so many years. It's really important to advocate. If we aren't standing, you know, beside our counterparts and saying, you know, these things are important, then we're not really doing them justice. You know what I mean? We're not giving them the attention that they deserve, and we're, to a degree, doing ourselves a disjustice as well, by letting them perpetuate themselves. And I think that, you know, that's probably, you know, one of the biggest contributions that, you know, an ally or, you know, an institution or community can make to any marginalized or, you know, oppressed group of people. I think there is an Indigenous worldview, and really what it is again, a sense of balance, a sense of like symbiosis and, again, equilibrium, and also a sense of self-awareness, understanding how your actions impact other people. Although we reside in one part of the world, you know, our actions have consequences for people on the other side of the planet. And we don't always realize, you know, just how impactful, you know, our day-to-day is on other people. So a great example of that is in Indigenous culture, it's, you know, customary to actually think 7 generations ahead and do things with that consideration in mind. So I would say that's my idea of what an Indigenous worldview is, and I guess how I engage in that, or I kind of implement that in my own life, is, you know, being conscious of it every day, challenging myself to, you know, be extra considerate of other people and to think about what the consequences are before I act, you know, before I speak, before it becomes somebody else's problem.